Hello, welcome. I'm glad that you're with us as we continue our chronological read through of the Bible. Actually, we're going to start getting into more and more names too. So if I stumble a little bit along the way, please try to be understanding. Today, we're going to read about the rest of Jehoshaphat's reign in Judah, and then we're going to look at the reign of Jehoram and Ahaziah in Judah, and the beginning of the reign of Joash. Jehoshaphat returned safely home from the battle that we read about yesterday that claimed the life of King Ahab. But God was angry with Jehoshaphat for allying himself with the evil King Ahab, and he sent the prophet Jehu to tell him so. Still, God acknowledged through Jehu that Jehoshaphat loved Yahweh, loved God, that he had destroyed the Asherahs in Judah, and that he had set his heart on God. So after this warning from Jehu, Jehoshaphat restricted himself to activities in Judah, well, at least until the very, very end of his reign. He reformed the system of judges, and he solemnly charged them to judge rightly in the fear of the Lord. So those were all good things that Jehoshaphat had done. Soon the Lord tested Jehoshaphat by allowing a great army of multiple nations to rise up against Judah. Jehoshaphat declared a fast, and he went to the temple and he prayed, reminding God of his promise to Israel, to Judah now, and asking him for deliverance. Through the prophet Jahaziel, God promised to deliver them the very next day, telling Judah to go out for battle, but that they wouldn't need to fight because God would do it for them. And indeed, the next day, God turned the multiple nations that had come to attack Judah against each other, and they totally destroyed one another. Judah received a great victory with great spoil. If I remember right, it took 3 days for them to collect all the spoil, and yet they never raised a sword. Now, near the end of his reign, Jehoshaphat once again tried to work with Israel, this time with the evil king Ahaziah, on a trade deal, a maritime trade deal, but God brought it to naught. When Jehoshaphat died, his son Jehoram was made king of Judah because he was the eldest son. While Jehoram killed all his younger brothers, he did evil in the sight of the Lord. Actually, it's noteworthy that the daughter of King Ahab had been given to Jehoram in marriage because Jehoram ruled as the kings of Israel. In other words, as King Ahab would have, rather than as his father and grandfather had. So God rained down punishment on Jehoram and Judah for their whoredom after other gods. Jehoram died a painful death of disease, and quite frankly, no one mourned his passing. Jehoram's youngest son, Ahaziah, then became king of Judah. Now, don't confuse this Ahaziah with the Ahaziah who was king of Israel about a decade earlier, who Jehoshaphat had actually set up a trade deal with. Just the same, Ahaziah was also evil. His reign lasted only a year before he was killed by Jehu. His mother, Athaliah, then assumed the throne. She killed all the royal family except Joash, who had been hidden from her. She couldn't find Joash. After 6 years, Jehoiada, the priest who had hidden Joash, brought him out and made him king. And they killed Athaliah, the queen Athaliah, and any who followed her. Her reign was not legitimate in the first place. Under Jehoiada, the people of Judah tore down the altars and the images of Baal, and they returned to worshiping the Lord. Well, may God be with you, bless you, especially as you start to read. Now, things start to move kind of quickly, and we get a lot of names thrown at us, so it can be a little bit difficult to keep track of who's who. But hopefully, this couple of minutes that we spent together will help you with that. I pray that you're learning, that you're growing. Look forward to gathering with you the next time.